The Green Bay Packers have won, beating the Los Angeles Rams in LA. It was a nice win, but let's look at what the Packers have done so far. They've beaten the Rams 1-4. They beat the Titans 1-3. They beat the Colts 2-3. Not the best of competition. Not to mention the Rams aren't without Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, which definitely limits the Rams' offense. And even still, the Rams were able to throw a decent amount today. It wasn't Stafford's best game. Kieran Williams went over 100 rushing. Yeah, I'm sorry about that in the preview. I think I called him Kerwin Williams. It's a completely different player. Total mislip. But Kieran Williams still had a good game and was still able to gash the Packers for many times a day. And let's not get to the mistakes that the Packers made. But before we get into that, let me know what you think. Comment down below. Subscribe. All of that. Help me grow. I like doing this. I will continue to do this even if I don't get the support. But those that do support me, I do appreciate when you comment. Subscribe and likes really help. So let me know what you think and let's get into it. The Green Bay Packers won. That's the most important thing. They won and it was a nice win, especially after the heartbreaking loss of the Minnesota Vikings. It was a nice change of tune. But still, we got to remember, Packers haven't played the best of competition. Jordan Love certainly is getting better week by week. But he's still making some mistakes, still underthrowing some balls. But he was definitely more on point today, and you can really tell. He found Tucker Kraft open a lot, which probably is a matter of just the Rams don't play well against tight ends. So if you're looking to get him in fantasy football, I mean, he's definitely worth a grab. He's definitely worth a stash. Most weeks, probably still not the best pick to play, just because Jordan Love seems to have a different favorite target every week, and the Titans have not been the biggest targets for most weeks. But still, if you're so inclined to grab him, I would grab him just so your team, your other members in your league can't kill you with him on a week-to-week basis. No Christian Watson today, and no Romeo Doubs, of course, because of the suspension, because he was complaining about his amount of targets, even though, let's be honest, he still, at the time before, or had 5 less targets than Jayden Reed, but maybe he has a point. Maybe he does. Maybe he should be getting more run than Dontavian Wicks. I love Dontavian Wicks. He's great. He has a nice big body. He's athletic, but he drops a lot of balls. He doesn't have the best hands as a function of today, especially later in the game. Midway through the fourth quarter, it's 3rd and 3, and he just drops one right out of his hands. He just dropped it. Later on, the Packers have another drive after giving up a big long touchdown to the Rams. Had to go right through his hands, and there really was nobody there affecting his catching. He just went right through. So, I mean, it's like, I still love Dontavian Wicks. I still think they're going to continue giving him the ball. But he made a couple big drops today that, had the Packers lost, would have been really under that microscope for sure. Now, running the ball, Josh Jacobs had a pretty good day. He was solid. He had some really nice runs, especially later in the drive to really get that going. It's really kind of sudden, considering how we started the Packers' last offensive drive, getting a 12-yard run on the first carry. But then all of a sudden, they're missing balls, they're falling short, and then they end up punting and giving the Rams that last shot to win the game. Jordan Love was pretty darn good. He had that one interception that turned into a pick six, but let's be honest, Tom Silverstein, writer for the Packers, brought this up that with the way the Packers defense was going, had they given up or taken a safety, they would have punted. Rams would have caught the ball. They probably would have made it 9 points. So, I mean, yes, you give up the touchdown, but the Rams missed missed the extra point. So that was definitely huge in this game as well. Not to mention they missed that 2-point conversion on the touchdown. So really, the Rams were very close to needing only a field goal to win the game at the end. So thankfully, they were able to hold on. They were able to keep them from scoring a last-minute touchdown, but there were several different plays throughout the game that, had they gone differently, the Packers certainly would have lost. But they won. Jayden Reed still had a decent game. The big star, of course, Tucker Kraft. 2 touchdowns, almost 90 yards. He looked great, especially on the big long touchdown that he had. He was fantastic all day long. It was nice to see him finally come out and show why they drafted him so high. I still like Joe or Musgrave a lot, but let's be honest, Tucker Kraft looks like the Packers tight end in the future. And if unless Musgrave can really start to learn to block like Tucker Kraft definitely has, he's not going to be on the field like Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft looks the part. He can block. He can catch. He can run block as well. He looks the part of a modern day NFL tight end in every way. And as long as he continues to play well, he's going to keep being the Packers' #1 tight end and probably in the top 3 targets for Jordan Love. He's just a great short route guy. He can catch the long ball. He can do it all. Like I said, he's a really good blocker, which is huge. If you really want to succeed in the NFL today, especially a tight end, you need to be able to block. If you can't block, it doesn't matter how good, how talented you are, how good you are at catching the ball, how good you are at scoring touchdowns, you're just not going to be out there. Let's be honest. Tucker Kraft has learned, he's put in the work, he's learned how to block, and that's why he's gotten more run than Musgrave has. But Musgrave's nowhere near to like being off the team or anything like that, so he's gonna still get his opportunities here and there. But for the time being, I think the lion's share of those tight end targets are gonna go to Tucker Kraft. So he had a really good game. If there was an MVP in this game, it would be Tucker Kraft. Also, on the defensive side, the Packers gave up definitely some big plays at times, especially I think it was second quarter. Rams had a big deep ball down the field like for 30 yards. Kieran Williams had a nice run, but then they stopped the Rams on 4th and down at the goal line, so that was really nice. But again, one of those drives, had they gone differently, the Packers would have lost. Xavier McKinney has been the defensive stud, the defensive MVP since he joined the Packers, and he's off to a great start. I believe if he gets an interception next week, he'll set the single season interception record to start a season. I mean, 6 games in a row with an interception is fantastic. He's been so good, and he doesn't give up points. He's just great in coverage. He's a great safety. He's what every team wants in a safety. He can do it all. He knows how to hit. He knows how to catch, and he doesn't make a lot of boneheaded errors, which is huge. Again, like for most positions in the NFL, if you can cut down on your errors, you're going to be out there far longer than someone that's fumbling the ball, dropping interceptions, dropping fumbles, stuff like that. You're going to be out there. And Xavier McKinney has proven why he is I think for right now, he seems like the de facto leader of the defense. He really does. He's a field general back there, which you want in your safety. You want a field general back in the safety, like an Ed Reed, like others of that kind as well. He had a really good game. I just don't see him stopping anytime soon. But most importantly, Jordan Love was pretty good. He was pretty accurate for most of the game. Had over 200 yards. Had that one interception that turned into a pick 6. But like I said, it was probably better that it ended up that way, where they missed the extra point, than taking the safety and probably giving up another touchdown. Then that game is probably vastly different if that happens. But the Packers had a good day. Definitely some things to work on. Definitely too many drives for the other team that start off with a 4-yard run, 5-yard run, a big pass. Still, at times, late in the game, the prevent defense comes up. They just let the guy catch the ball and then hit him. If you're going to do that, you need to be able to hit them hard and maybe cause a turnover. The way the Packers do it sometimes is just so irritating. Watching them give up chunks and chunks of yards, and then watching them score, and it's just like, you gotta get in there and be aggressive sometimes. That is one thing I really like about Jeff Hafley. For all his faults, for all his giving up plays left and right, the turnovers are a huge thing. I would rather take a defensive coordinator that is aggressive and gets turnovers than someone that just sits back there, lets them gain yards and hope the offense messes up. You can't do that. You got to be active on the defense. You got to cause turnovers, and that's what the Packers have done. They have already eclipsed their total interception marks that they had all last year. McKinney is too 2 interceptions away from equaling the total the Packers had as a team all of last year. And it's only 5 games. I mean, he is on a tear. The Packers defensively, yes, they've been giving up points, but lately, especially for fantasy purposes, if you can get your hands on the Packers defense, maybe you don't start him every week, but they're one of those defenses that you have. Same thing with the Vikings. The Ravens are coming along nicely as well. There's a couple of defenses out there that if you get them, stash them. There's so many things about fantasy football where you change out defenses, but the great defenses don't grow on trees. So if you're able to draft one or even pick one up, stick with them. Maybe if don't have a good week, you hold on to them for a little bit before dropping them. But I've seen too many times where people drop good defenses because they had one bad week and then they're solid the rest of the year. Stick with the good ones that you have. Stick with the good players that you have on your team until maybe you have like a 5 stretch game where they're not doing it, and then maybe you consider dropping. But the one studs that you get, start your studs, keep your studs, give them chances because they'll take you further than you could ever imagine with just your run-of-the-mill player. But enough of the fantasy diatribe here. The Packers had a big win today. It's nice. We'll see. I don't remember who they play next week, but it's probably going to be another big game. I think they go back to Lambeau next week, so that'll be nice. But Packers win big. Lots of things to look forward to. The defense is looking great. The offense is coming along very nicely. Josh Jacobs is still a good running back. Romeo Doubs will be back next week, so hopefully he'll have learned from his detrimental to the team activities and going back to just playing football and being who he is. He's a great wide receiver. He'll get the targets. Just keep going along, especially if Dontavian Wicks keeps dropping balls. Romeo Doubs his target share is gonna keep going up. So don't be petty. Don't be childish. Just accept your role and just ball out because you're a great wide receiver. And I know I probably don't know the full situation, but catch those balls because we know you can do them a lot. But Packers win. Jordan Love, great. Defense, great. And we'll see what they do the rest of the season. But they're 3-2 in the division, tied with the Bears and the Lions Bears and the Lions for last, I guess, right now because the Vikings are 5-0. The Lions are still 3-1. The NFC North, goddamn, the NFC North could have 3 teams in the playoffs. 3. I don't imagine 4. I imagine one of those teams falling off, and it's probably the Bears, but it's probably one of those teams going to fall off, maybe even the Vikings too. But Packers are doing well. Take the good things that we have, criticize the things that they do bad, but this team is looking a lot better than it has in years past, and I still have a lot of hope in them. I still have the feelings that they can, if everything works out well, win a Super Bowl with this team. Yes, Jordan Love can win a Super Bowl and be the next guy that plays for 15 years for the Packers and only wins 1 Super Bowl, but is always in it, but always falls short. But let me know what you think. Have a great day. Go Pack Go, and God bless.